going to be for Virgo for the month of September 2020. Virgo, 2 cards presented themselves for your annual oracle. We have the Swan and we have the Butterfly. So both of these together are saying it's time to try something new, try something different, just dive in, transform. Now is the time for change for you. Is a time for change, is a time for growth. We are in that Virgo season too, so this is very positive. This is your time to shine. This is your time to make these connections and change. Another card presented itself though. We do have the Nine of Swords upright. So the Nine of Swords upright is telling me though that although we're getting ready for this big old change, that you are, this is your time to change. You are connected to some sort of depression or some sort of sadness that you're holding yourself to. Almost like you're not allowing yourself to move on, to be happy, to grow. That's the main focus here. So it's battling against your 2 animal oracle cards that you have here. You got that depression, that sadness, and your animal oracle cards are telling you, and now is the time for happiness and the time for growth. Now, I do see that you have this King of Wands here. This is where you're coming from, this King of Wands, and this 3 of Pentacles upright. So, some of you may have a fire sign that's in your life that's pushing you, to be strong and to be independent and to grow. But some of you also may be taking on those traits yourself and growing and learning to be having that courage and stuff to move forward with different things, and you're taking on something, trying something new, you're investing in something different that maybe you haven't done before. That's where you are, you started that process, right? Even if it's just mentally that you've started this process, like, hey, I'm going to change something, I'm going to do something differently, and you're working up that courage. That's where you're coming from. So again, you may not have already taken the steps physically to make these changes, but mentally you could at least be thinking about them. I do say that some of you are not physically making them, again, because we do have that Nine of Swords, so you are kind of tied to this emotional feeling here where there's not a lot of growth. And I also say that because right now, although you have this, you also have this Wands, right? This Ace of Wands, and it's in reverse. So although this process has started in your head, like, I'm starting this new path, I'm starting this new journey, you are not 100% sure of this journey. You are nervous about it. You're nervous about taking chances. It doesn't mean that this isn't the right thing for you. It doesn't mean you should back out, but you are nervous about it because this Ace of Wands it's about being afraid to make those necessary changes. It's about being afraid to move in a certain direction, changing things, and I mean, Virgo, you do like control, and you like that being in one, like, where you have that control and stuff, in that situation where you know what's going on. And for you to step out and try new things, it's very difficult for you. But you also have the Knight of Pentacles here too, and that's upright. And that person's not afraid of taking risks. That person's not afraid of changes, right? So it's kind of going ahead with this. It's like telling you, I know you're afraid to make these changes and stuff, but you need not to be, because there's room for growth. There's room for prosperity. There's room for a lot to come into your life, but you can't be closed off. Your outcome card here is good too. You have this Nine of Cups upright. So that's like you're working your way to that 10 of Cups. This is confidence. This is job opportunities. This is financial gains. This is growing. This is growing in so many different areas of your life. But although you're growing and you're working towards that 10 of Cups, you are also, some of it may be a materialistic hold too for you, that you want to keep progressing there, but you're stuck on, in this situation. But for a lot of you too, this could also mean that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. This could also mean that you are kind of being a little bit closed off about this, like you are working towards it, but you're also closed off. And I think that links back here too, like you've got these nines, so you're so close to having what you want, but you are unsure, you're nervous. Now, clarifying that Nine of Cups and clarifying that, like, where you're separating yourself, this is like not getting emotionally attached, not, being kind of nervous about that. I think some of it's because some of you are still tied to some other emotions. Because we do have the the King of Swords here in reverse and the Five of Cups in reverse. So this is like an unhealthy person that could have been in your life, or it could also be a way of thinking too. So, and that's about control and trying to control something. So maybe you're afraid that someone in your life is going to kind of try to control you or control something, or they're adding negatively to your life where you feel like you're lacking control because of them. But you're starting to also, like you were in this sad phase here, you know, and the Five of Cups is that sadness and depression card as well, but it's in reverse. So you're coming out of that. You're learning that things are getting better. You're learning to let go of those those sad things that were holding you back, and things are getting better. But there's just something quite holding you back a little bit. Like you're coming out of it, but so this whole reading is basically telling you that you need to let go, you need to have more confidence to move forward, because you are transforming. You're at that point in your life where things are just changing for you, and it's scary, and you're trying to hold on because that what if and that uncertainty, but you are transforming.